I'm your host, Davida Shinsky, and you're listening to Live Without Limits, Dreams Come True with the Right Mindset. And today we're going to be talking about 9 ways to help you overcome your insecurities and unfounded fears. For one thing, let's talk about what is an unfounded fear. An unfounded fear is something that you have not because you experienced it firsthand, but because you experienced it secondhand. What that means is if you have a parent that got caught up in a storm with lightning and the carriage overturned or so a tree came down in front of them, then it's a very real fear for them whenever a storm comes up again. But when they show that fear, you as a child observed how they reacted to it, and therefore you reacted the same way. So, did you know that approximately 15 million Americans are estimated to meet the criteria for a social anxiety disorder? Millions more suffer from related phobias that are less severe, but there are several successful strategies to fortunately conquer shyness and social anxiety and to build trust. 9 things that you can do to overcome your insecurities. Build confidence. Building confidence takes work, but it can be done. For example, many people with low confidence have a hard time looking someone in the eye in a conversation. Being able to hold a steady eye contact is generally considered an act of self confidence. That's part of body language, and we'll get a little bit into that once we finish this explanation. So, but this is one of the scariest things for the truly shy by taking small steps and practicing eye contact with people you trust. This can be overcome. Start small. Practice holding eye contact for 2 seconds, then increase to 4 seconds, and so on until you feel better about it. After practicing this on a few more occasions, you'll have no problem making eye contact. Mastering confidence comes from understanding and work. Remember that feeling when you first learned to ride a bicycle. At first, it was intimidating, but after you just went in and got it and tried it, you got it and you felt positive. Social trust works the same way. Feeling nervous is not an issue. The issue is preventing social experiences. Get rid of fear, and nervousness can be resolved. Okay, now the explanation. When we talk about not being able to make eye contact, there's several reasons for it. But usually what we're talking about when we're talking about self-confidence is as a child, you constantly having someone berate you and make you feel less than who you are whenever you express yourself, or you're being physically abused in some way. And then what happens is because you have low self esteem, it's very difficult to make eye contact with someone. And I can remember back when I was in college and I was talking to someone and they mentioned that I couldn't make eye contact, it made me much more conscious about it. And it made me much more aware of what I had to do to become and be able to look at someone in the eye when I talk to them. And as a speaker, when I was taking a certification to become a seminar leader, one of the things that they had us do was that we had to make eye contact with the audience. And when someone raised their hand, then that was their telling us that we had made eye contact with them. Engage. This includes taking part in small conversations at a checkout line and chattering at the pubs, restaurants, and malls, and the gym with a stranger or someone that you find attractive. Now, that also encompasses personality because if you have an outgoing personality, it's easy to be able to talk to strangers. Now, before I get into the rest of this explanation, let me tell you about what the DISC is. The D is the dominant personality, the I is the interpersonal personality, the S is the steadiness personality, and the C is the conscientious personality. The D personality feels like they can control everything. The I personality finds it easy to talk to strangers and do business in an atmosphere where it's very relaxed. And the steadiness personality, that's more of an introvert, but they tend to read the book and go exactly by the book within a company. The conscientiousness personality questions everything. Now, we have all of these in us, but some of them are our strengths and some of them are our weaknesses. And if you understand that, and you can learn how to move within them, then it helps you to better be able to engage with people. You can engage in small talk and ask them open ended questions. However, don't forget to take a moment to observe them or your surroundings before approaching them. This is a great way to prepare yourself and give you a hint of how to strike up a conversation. It's easier to connect with other people when you can offer them a compliment first or ask for their name. Don't be afraid to engage in casual talk and find something that you have in common with people that you find interesting. Engaging with other people on open ended and open up avenues to enrich experiences and strengthen your connections. Also, remember to be polite and show them enthusiasm in hearing what they have to say. Now, most people wouldn't mind answering a few questions from you or talking about themselves. People like to talk about themselves. And if you can get them to open up, then you can break the ice and get to know them. Try new things. Join a club, an acting class, or a sports team. Select a new assignment. Take on a tough job at work or learn a new talent, even if it makes you nervous. To get out of your comfort zone, you have to take the first small steps and take that leap of faith. In some aspects of your life, part of overcoming shyness is about building trust and not letting anxiety, fear of disappointment, fear of rejection, or fear of embarrassment get in your way. You face the fear of the unknown by practicing new behaviors and trying new things that are way out of your comfort zone. Talk. Start making presentations or speeches and sharing jokes or stories at any opportunity. Try to be more talkative, articulate, and engaging in all aspects of your life. You should practice communicating more freely at work, with colleagues, with strangers, and even walking down the street. Now, one of the best things that you can do is take Toastmasters. And why do I say Toastmasters? Because the biggest issue that people have is standing up in front of a group and speaking. And with Toastmasters, you first start out with the first 10 speeches. The very first one is a 3-minute speech where you talk about yourself and get comfortable speaking in front of a group. Then, with each progressive speech, you have to add descriptive words, physical movements, and other things to learn to speak for a longer length of time and to get more comfortable speaking in front of other people. And that means that you are becoming a competent Toastmaster, which means that you become more and more comfortable speaking with people. Let your voice, and thoughts be heard. If you know that the answer to a question during a class or a group meeting, don't hesitate to raise your hand and say what's on your mind or share your opinion about something related to your topic that you're talking about. Confident individuals are not worried about whether or not anyone would appreciate what they have to say, since they want to communicate, interact, and connect with others. They speak their minds to understand and get things off their chest. This can be achieved if you don't hold yourself back from expressing yourself out of fear and shyness. Open yourself. Bring, or rather, being open helps. If you're not used to this, practice doing this for those that you can't and you can trust and are close to you, like your mom or your best friend. Start with people already within your circle of influence. Open yourself and let others see the real you. Be proud of who you are and that you are there to celebrate your scars and flaws. That is, that we all have flaws or we all have things about ourselves that we don't like and the scars that we experience through life. And just understanding and coming out of yourself and realizing that everyone has scars. It's like, how many times have you heard the expression when you're standing up in front of a group and they intimidate you, imagine them with nothing on? Because if you can do that, then you can just think that they're no different than you are. So the more you do so, the closer you feel to someone and the more satisfaction and significance that you get out of the relationship. This will contribute greater confidence in yourself and social skills as you go along. Pay attention to your body language. And I think this is something that we often forget about. And often it's also something that we don't really understand because your eyes can show an expression, how you hold your hands, how you make eye contact, how you stand, even how you listen to people. That's all in your body language and your physical movement. So when listening to someone, make eye contact. When you enter a room, keep your head up and greet people with a smile. Body language is a powerful form of nonverbal communication. Understanding it will help improve your daily interactions. You know, one of the things that happened to me is in the community where I live, When I go to the grocery store, I'll take the shuttle bus. And there was someone on there that once said to me that what he always liked about me was that I always had a smile on my face. Enhance your fitness. If you're not exercising enough, start preparing a schedule today for yourself. Exercise not only increases feelings of well being and lowers anxiety, but it provides the ability to build up your social skills in a comparatively non threatening atmosphere if performed in the company of others. Compliment yourself and become your best advocate. You may not be a strong public speaker, but there are plenty of things to be proud of in your life, like your time management skills, or your innate creativity to make something out of nothing. Remember that you're facing struggles just like everyone else, and that the little successes of your life can help you feel good. You may also feel proud some days that you've made it out of the door, or your ability to wake up before your alarm clock. Make room for self love and recognize little milestones to feel better about yourself. You should always come first before no one else, because no one else will look out for you in the manner that you will look out for yourself. So don't be hard on yourself if you're having a bad day and things don't go your way. If if you're down in the dumps, you can say positive self-love affirmations. Something people do in front of a mirror, but any quiet place will do fine. One of the things I had to do was to learn to advocate for myself because my family was never going to advocate for me to make sure that my rights were being met because people with disabilities were often looked at as being hidden and non existent. So recognize who you are. And this is the thing I want to say. Each of us are unique. Each of us have qualities that no one else has. That's why, if you think about it, just because your father owned a business or your father was a lawyer or he was a doctor, that doesn't mean that's what you should be. You need to go along with what you choose and ask yourself what your strengths are. And don't let others script you to be what they want you to be because you have a right to make that choice. Ask for help. Under some circumstances and emergencies, social anxiety may go out of hand. You may feel extremely concerned or disconnected. Such situations are hard, but definitely not something to bear with. That and there is nothing to be ashamed of or afraid of. You can and should get help when you need it. Don't wait until you're in a crisis tomorrow or next week or the next time. Please make an appointment to meet someone today. You deserve the attention and care only compassionate, trained personnel can give you. You can ask a close friend or a family member to accompany you or fix an appointment. If you are not sure about calling a doctor or contacting a mental health helpline in your country, figure out what would be less daunting to you, speaking to someone that you don't know at all or getting help from someone that you know well. So find out what might work for you and simply take the step. Now, here's the last thing that I'm going to say about that there is companies online that hire people to be out there and offer certain types of experiences. The difference is that what you need to do is understand that for many of these people in these situations, you have to know exactly what you're looking for and also recognize that when you seek out services, if you're going to be having your insurance company pay, you need someone that's licensed. And there are certain lead generation companies out there that will advertise, and you can go online and you can sign up with them. But unless you have someone that's licensed or really knows, has dealt with and knows your specific issues, because anger management is something that requires someone that has real experience and training in the industry. So beware of what you're looking for and make sure that you are getting the right kind of help that's right for you.